Hi. I remember one morning I'd cleared my schedule, blocked out a few hours to finally start a writing project that I'd been thinking about and praying about for months. And so this was it. This was the window that I'd been waiting for. I'd made a cup of tea, got a bit zen, lit a candle to inspire myself. Then I sat down and you guessed it, I picked up my phone. Just for a second, I told myself I just want to quickly check a couple of things. An hour later, I was knee deep in somebody else's Instagram highlight reel, and I was halfway through some random article that I had picked up on some productivity hacks, and I was starting to spiral and feeling really frustrated. Not because I didn't care and not because I wasn't ready to do the work, but because deep down, I think I was really avoiding the weight of what it would mean to actually begin. And I remember asking myself, why do I keep delaying the very thing that I want the most? And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the subject of self-sabotage. So we're a little bit clearer about what it is and the impact that it has on our journey and our movement into divine purpose and living our best lives, really. It's way more than a cliche. It's this invisible tug of war on the inside of us. The one that says, I want to grow, I want to excel, I want to step forward, I want to step up, but I'm stuck. It's the one that leaves us scrolling, maybe snacking, stressing, overthinking, doing everything but stepping forward. And you're not crazy, seriously, and you are not alone. And so that's what we will unpack today, this self-sabotage cycle and how to start shifting it gently and truthfully with insight. Because under every bad habit, there's a very real and unmet need. And when we bring that into the light, that's where freedom from behaviors that sabotage your best efforts begin. So my name's Tracy. I am one half of Coach Aligned, and I am a recovering control freak. And so welcome to Coach Aligned, where our goal is to have really powerful coaching conversations that explore living aligned with your deepest desires and God's divine purpose. Before we dive in, let's create some space. Go grab a notebook. Hopefully you've got your favorite drink. You can get a little bit zen with me and light a candle and let this be a bit of a sacred pause, not just content, but connection, even though I'm here and you're there. This isn't a quick fix productivity tip. This is soul work. And we're going to be talking about the patterns beneath the pattern. You know what I'm talking about. The beliefs beneath the behavior that's frustrating your best efforts, the stories that you've been carrying, the needs that you may be trying to get met in ways that are no longer working for you, are not serving your ultimate sense of fulfillment, destiny, purpose. So just breathe. Be here, be present, and let your heart pick up what it needs today. Let your mind and your soul just grab the information that it needs to make its next best step forward. So let's start with a quirky little story that I think illustrates what we'll be discussing today. You remember Popeye, you know, the strong sailor, Popeye, the sailor man. He eats spinach, gets superpowers. That whole spinach equals strength idea, it was based on a decimal point error in a German science paper. So research helps us a lot, but in this case, it actually gave us a faulty belief because spinach doesn't actually have that much iron, but we believed it and we acted on it. And now here's the point. What if some of the beliefs that are driving your life are based on errors too? Old assumptions, outdated strategies, stories that perhaps you were told or you told yourself and never stopped to question. Self-sabotage often hides these stories, and that's why reflection matters, pausing to take a moment like you are now. That's how we reflect on and rewrite what is no longer true. So let me put it this way. I think this is a great way of illustrating it further. If you have a fundamental belief that 1 + 1 = 2, mathematically, everything that you build on that foundation will be logical and correct. But what if you believe 1 + 1 = 3? That's what you'd been taught, that's what you'd been told, and you never stop to question it. Everything that you build on top of that foundation will be logical, but it will be incorrect. It will be faulty because the foundation is flawed. This is why it is really critical that when you feel stuck, you want to move forward. Like Paul, why is it so hard to do the thing that I want to do, but that thing that I don't want to do is so easy to do? So when you feel stuck in this cycle that is not serving your potential and purpose, you really need to check the foundations. And one of the frameworks that I really love as a lens through which to reflect on my behaviors when I get stuck, it's called the 6 core human needs. And it's drawn from the work of Tony Robbins and Dr. Chloe Mundanes. It blends psychology with coaching, spiritual insights into one powerful lens. So these needs are universal regardless of race, culture, creed. Every choice that we make, even the ones that don't make sense, are our way of trying to meet one or more of these core needs. And all of our behavior is strategy to meet those needs. And here's the kicker. If we don't meet these needs in healthy ways, we'll meet them however we can. And some of those ways end up to be self-sabotaging, unhealthy. That's where self-sabotage sneaks in. So it's not just bad behavior, it could actually be an unmet need whispering, please notice me, notice me. So as a bit of a broad brush, let's start with the first 4, the needs of your personality. And these are everyday drivers behind our habits and our decisions. So the first one is certainty. We all feel safe, secure, and in control when we have this need met. Sometimes that shows up, though, in an unhealthy way as over-planning, procrastinating, or even micromanaging. The second need is variety. We also need variety, spontaneity, creative spark. Too much routine, and we suffocate our flexibility, our behavioral flexibility, our emotional flexibility, our ability to stretch and try new things and explore. And we'll rebel or sabotage just to feel alive again. The third is significance. We all crave meaning. We want to feel seen, known, value, that our lives actually, in the grand scheme of things, really matter. When this need is unmet, we might overwork or overshare or disappear altogether. The fourth need is connection. And this is the need to belong. So in an unhealthy way, we might subscribe to people pleasing. We'll avoid conflict. We'll shrink ourselves just to keep the peace. We'll avoid those uncomfortable conversations. And so here's a quick story from my life. For years and years, I was hyper scheduled, every moment planned, every task mapped out. Why? Because it gave me certainty. But deep down, I was starving for variety. I was suffocated with certainty. I needed something spontaneous, something light, effortless. I wanted to stretch, I wanted to grow, but my need for certainty kept me stuck. And so the tension between those two needs, my need for variety and my need for certainty, that left me feel drained, edgy, disconnected. And here's a little research nugget just to sit with. A 2020 University of Zurich study found that unmet needs like autonomy and connection were directly tied to emotional burnout and self-regulation. So when we meet all of these needs, we build resilience, not just routines. So let's pause here. Which one of these needs are you meeting in unhelpful ways? Maybe you overcommit to feel significant and then feel frustrated because you don't have the flexibility or the space in your life to try new things. Maybe you avoid conflict to stay connected, but you end up losing your voice. No shame, seriously, no guilt. Just cultivate honest, gentle awareness. Because once we name it, we can reframe it. And in the next video, we'll go deeper. We'll explore the final two needs, which I call the spiritual needs, the ones that hold the key to real fulfillment and lasting change. Because here's the thing, these first four personality needs need to be met in a fairly healthy way in order for us to meet the last two in a powerful, fulfilling way. So if something stirred in you today, I want you to pause, acknowledge it, and honor it. Just honor it, accept it, notice it. And then I want you to consider downloading the Purpose Guide. It'll walk you through some really great reflection questions to uncover where you're stuck, particularly in the area of being able to give expression to your divine purpose, and then how to gently shift and move forward. I'd really love it if you would drop a comment below. It would be great to get some interaction. And trust me, I read any comments. If there's a comment there, I will read it and I will respond to it. I'd be curious, what need surprised you the most? And perhaps what is resonating with you the most about this conversation? I'd really love to hear, and we'd love to do this journey with you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. The more people that subscribe, the greater functionality we have and access we have with YouTube. And in the next video, we're going to go to that next level, the spiritual needs level, that really will lead you to some significant breakthroughs, having this understanding. You don't have to stay stuck in the old stories that you've been telling yourself. You've been created to live aligned with divine purpose and to live fully alive to your deepest desires. And perhaps this is part of your way forward. So again, my name's Tracy, and till we see you again, keep living aligned and living alive.